going to set up the MS32LED. This is the MS32 Psych background, which is a nice, humongous, seamless Psych background with an expanded corner, which means a flat part in the middle. It's 32 by 32 by 16 inches high. This is the LED version, so we have got, instead of fluorescent lights, we have two ultra bright 5000K LED lights. So I'm going to show you, basically this is what's in the package, and then we're going to go ahead and set it up so you can see how easy it goes together. So of course we've got the Psych background. We've got the two big overhead reflectors, and these are basically going to go over the lights and help create that wraparound awesome light that the MS32 is famous for. These are the two LED lights. These are the two crossbars. They have the stickers on them. These are the upright legs, and these are the feet that they get attached to. We're going to start doing that in just a second. A 6-foot extension cord with 3 outlets. One of the outlets is going to be used by the light cord. So there's 2 lights, but only 1 power cord is needed, and I'll show you why in a minute. But that leaves you with 2 extra plugs in case you use accent lights or something like that, and there's an on-off switch on the cord, so you can, everything that's plugged into it, you can turn on and off at the same time. We've got this little doohickey here. It's an adapter. It goes in between the lights to connect them. Very cool. And of course, this is all the screws and nuts and hardware. Finally, we've got a pair of 16 by 20 bounce cards. So we're going to use these to help reflect the light onto the subject, do some fill, and these are the equal backs that go with it. So the only tools you'll need, these do not come with it, but a flathead screwdriver and a 7/16 inch nut driver. You could use a crescent wrench, but the nut driver makes things a little bit easier. So that's everything that's in here. We're going to go ahead and put this together and start taking some pictures. All right, the first thing we're going to do is connect the feet with the legs. Now they're all identical, but the best way to think about this is you have a right foot and a left foot, and the feet face out, away from the vertical flange. So this right here is going to be my left foot. This one will be the right. So the legs, basically, we want to skip one hole and put this on the outside part of the foot, and we're going to leave that one hole in the back. Use one of the 1/2 inch 1/4 screws. Go right through. Once those are finger tight, you're going to go ahead and use your nut driver. Hold it tight. Give it a little bit of twist. Just kind of make it snug. Not over tight or anything. All right, so the left leg and foot are together. Do the same thing with the right. The foot on the outside edge of the flange. Screw goes right through the hole from the outside in. All right, so the legs and feet are together. We're going to put those off to the side for now. And we are going to put the crossbar together. Now the MS32 uses 2 lights side by side. So the first thing we want to do is join the crossbar together in the middle. So basically, make sure the MyStudio sticker is facing the same way up. And we're just going to put it right next to each other. You want to take the 2 10/32 screws. So these are the larger screws and the larger wing nuts. The smaller ones are going to be used later for the lights. Those are the 8/32 screws. So take the longest screw and we'll put it through the part with the reinforced sleeve here. And then we're going to go ahead and just tighten it like that. And the 1/2 inch screw through the other hole. And tighten it like that. Just make it nice and snug. Now these are together. You've got 2 more remaining 1/4 1/2 inch screws. These are going to go on the outside edge of each side of the crossbar. This is what we call a locating screw, and it's going to be used to locate it on the legs as far as determining the height of it. So you screw it from the inside to the outside, and it's threaded. Do the same thing on the other side. All right, so your crossbar basically ready for mounting the overhead reflectors and the lights. That's the hardest part of the whole thing, and it's not even really that difficult. You just want to make sure you do a couple things correctly. So we're going to put the legs in the back for a moment. So these are the two reflectors. They're identical. Doesn't matter which one goes on which side. But you want to make sure that they're facing the right direction. So the best way to do that is just have your crossbar like this. Make sure the MyStudio logo is facing up. We're just going to simply put it on its back like that. Now when they're fully in here correctly, the reflectors are going to butt up next to each other at the very middle, and then these holes will line up over some holes here. We're going to do these one at a time, these little clips. Now these are what the lights are going to eventually clip into. So all we do is take one of the 1/2" 8/32 screws, one of these holes here, and you want to line this up towards the middle of this crossbar. So it's got to be right there in whichever hole is showing up. It's like right there is the one we want. And then we use a wing nut and secure it on there. And then we want the bracket facing this way, the long way of the reflector. And now the other hole should line up. We're going to do the other bracket just the same way. Got the screw right through the hole. I know you can't see the other side, but we're just putting a wing nut on the other side. So once we've done that side, we're going to do the exact same thing over here. So basically, you can see the wing nuts on the other side. There's only a small gap right here. So this brings us to the tape. So you got in the instruction packet, there was a 24-inch piece of tape. You want to remove the adhesive backing, and we'll come right back and put that on. All right, so we've got our 24-inch piece of tape. Now this is the underside of the reflector. This is the textured side. You could put the tape across the top, but it's just a little more difficult to do it that way. We are going to start right at the edge here where it starts to bend. And all we're going to do is just lay it real nice over that seam. There you go. And then just, smooth it down. All right. Now this is really slick how this goes together. So a couple things you want to do, because the lights look identical on both ends at first glance, but there's actually different connectors. So one end of the light has a female connector, one end has a male connector. So in order to figure out which side goes where, you're basically, your MyStudio unit's going to face this way. You want to figure out where your power is. If it's on that side, you want to make sure that your power cord is coming out of that side. So this part, I know that my power cord is on this side, so I'm going to have this light be over here. I'm going to go ahead and plug this in. So I want this light to be on this side, so I know this is going to be like this. Then take your handy dandy little connector. We're going to put that right here. And this is what your other light is going to go on. It'll only go on one way. And we're going to put them together like that. And the way that these go in, I got one that went wonky on me. So you want these all nice and vertical. So if you look at these lights really carefully, they're all grooved down here, and at the bottom there's the largest groove. Basically, you're just going to lay this into the clip, just center it on the light bar the best you can, so that they're all laying in here. And then you're just going to kind of push down until they clip in. All right, last one is over here. All right, so these are all clipped in. Now the only thing that remains is to put the light bar on the light stand. And to do that, you really need two people with something of this size. So I'm going to get Tyler, our camera operator, to come in and help me, and we'll do that next, and we'll basically be done. Okay, so Tyler's here to help me out. We're each going to grab a leg and a foot. So we've got it's facing this way, feet facing out. You could pick anywhere to put the light stand. It's got several different hole placements. We're going to go somewhere right in the middle. So we're going to put the locating screw about 5 down from the top. So we're going to go ahead and pick this up nice and carefully. All right, it's going to be about like this. And then we put the thumb screw through the other hole right into the steel inserted spot, like that. Okay, so let's put this right about here. We're going to bring the background up here. I'm going to go ahead and plug it in. Now once it's plugged in to the extension cord, you can just use the on-off switch on the cord. And there you have it. Nice, bright, white, clean light. All right, the last step is just putting the bounce cards together. I've already put one together and I'm going to show you how to do this. Basically, you want to use the long edge of the bounce card as your base. Either side is fine, it's all identical. Take the easel back, just kind of bend it away from the center where you'll see the adhesive backing. So there's actually 3 parts of adhesive backing. We're only going to do the top and the bottom. I'm going to take those off, top one and the bottom one. And we're just gonna, you can get picky and you can measure, to the exact center if you want. I find it's just fine to eyeball it. It's important that this goes straight up and down and is pretty much flush with the bottom here. So this is my guess at the center. And then just go ahead, push it on there. Then this middle piece, this is why we don't want to take off that middle piece, the adhesive part, so it doesn't stick to the bottom. And you just kind of pull this tab up until it locks. And there you have it. There is your MS32. Of course, the bounce cards can be moved wherever you want. You can add accent lights to this, but these LED lights are twice as bright as the fluorescent version. Make sure you watch the other MS32 tutorial videos. Give you a lot of great ideas of the ways you can shoot with this. Use the bounce cards. You can also use accent lights to get some different lighting options. But thank you very much for watching. I hope this was totally helpful and that yours got set up quickly and you're getting some good use out of it. All right, thanks.